Yo, what up, fellow disc golfers? Adam with High Action Disc Golf. Don't mind the dirty hat, this is my field work hat. I was out working on some field work for my tournament this Sunday. But I wanted to hop on here real quick and hit you guys with some news that I just found out. Some pretty big news in the disc golf world. Now, I don't cover disc golf news very often. That's not what I'm going to make my channel about very much. But when there's really big stuff, I think it is worth mentioning. So let's get into it real fast and you guys can find out what's going on. So about an hour ago, Discraft Disc Sports posted a YouTube video on their channel. I'm going to play a couple of snippets from that real quick so you can understand what's going on and what I'm going to talk about.
So at the end of 2019, me and Mike sat down and reevaluated the season that we had had. I mean, Paul just, won Worlds, and it was an amazing year for us. And we went over everything, and we realized, there was hurdles along the way and things that we didn't think about with this whole new deal that never been done before. We outgrew the first deal. I mean, the 4 years, we outgrew that within a year. And we started discussing that we need to restructure things and make it long-term, more so than 4 years.
And we were just at lunch one time and we were just joking around and said some numbers and some years, and when Mike said it, he's like, so-and-so years, so-and-so amount, and he kind of laughed, and I was like, I was thinking the same thing. And that was kind of the moment when I was like, this is really gonna happen, isn't it?
So holy crap. 10 years, $10 million? That's absolutely insane, guys. That is such a massive amount. Paul McBeth is by far going to be the highest paid disc golfer ever in the history of the sport. This is huge. I'm so excited for him. He goes from a 4-year, $1 million contract to an extended $10 million 10-year contract. That's so crazy. This is amazing for the sport of disc golf for two reasons, actually. The first reason, obviously, Paul McBeth getting this much money from his sponsor means that Discraft is really wanting to put some serious money into this sport. And hopefully other manufacturers will follow suit, because the biggest thing that this sport needs is money, sponsorship, and traction. It needs to grow, and the only way that it's going to grow is more sponsors, more outside money, more outside sources putting in the money into the sport to make it grow. So I think announcing $10 million contract with Paul McBeth is a really huge step in the right direction, and I think Discraft is going to make massive waves with this. And hopefully the other manufacturers like Innova and Discmania and Trilogy pay attention to this, because it's really big. The second thing that this does for the sport of disc golf is it shows a transparency when it comes to contracts. So many other big sports out there, NBA, NFL, MLB, even regular ball golf, you know what those players are making. They usually make those contracts and those amounts known. You know that Tiger Woods is making bank. You know that LeBron James is making bank. You know what kind of money they're making in general. And for disc golf to always keep that kind of on the hush-hush has kind of frustrated me. But I love that Discraft is coming out with this transparency showing, hey, we value Paul McBeth this much. We are willing to pay this man this much money because we believe in him this much. And I think hopefully, again, these other manufacturers will really start to pay attention to that. Innova, Discmania, Trilogy, all these big manufacturers, Prodigy, hopefully they'll start paying attention to this and realize, hey, it's probably a good idea to be transparent, because what that does is it gets people more interested in the sport, realizing, oh, this is the kind of money I could make if I want to really push myself and strive to be a professional disc golfer. This is the kind of payout that I could be looking towards. And it's not guaranteed, of course, that you're going to get another 10-year, $10 million player like Paul McBeth, but it really does bring in more players to the sport, and even more so, you realize that big other companies like, say, Nike or Under Armour or Adidas, who makes the shoes that the vast majority of us wear, can look at this and say, oh, they're going to pay their players that much? Well, that's a big deal. We might be interested in looking into this. If they're willing to pay their players that much, then it's probably worth putting some money into. So hopefully outside sponsors look at this, outside companies look at this, and the current disc manufacturers really look at this and realize what they can do for our sport if they are transparent with how much they pay their players. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like the news kind of content like this, me explaining new and major disc golf news. Again, I'm not really going to be a news channel so much. I really prefer to get out there and actually play. But when it's really big news like this, I am going to try to cover it for you guys. So let me know if you like that. Let me know if you want to see more of it. This is Adam with High Action Disc Golf, and I'll catch you guys on the high road.